Okay. So, Keith, I'll let you let people in. So, when we started Immunotec 28 years ago, we were a little tiny company, frankly, in Montreal, Canada. And today, to be speaking to you about the opening of a major market that we'll get into the details of in a second, and eventually some additional markets. Very, very exciting. It's very, very exciting for me personally. I keep this on my desk. Some of you have seen this on other calls we've done. This is the original cassette tape that I did for Immunotech. Stefan, you might be too young to even remember cassette tapes. The rest of these people, unfortunately, pretty much do. I know most of them. Some of you don't. But anyway, this was a cassette tape that I made why the medical discovery of the 21st century led me to walk away from $40,000 a month, which I was making in residuals from another company at that time. And I keep it here for two reasons. Number one, it's historically very relevant to Immunotec because this is kind of where this was the first marketing piece ever done to market Immunotec, and all those years ago. So I'm kind of fond of it. Secondly, I keep it here because my son found it in the garage. My son's now 20. He found it in the garage, I don't know, about 2 years ago. And he said, "Dad, what is this?" And I start to give him the sales pitch. Well, I interviewed these two doctors. He goes, "No, no, no, no. What is it?" He physically did not know what this was. So that tells you how times change, and times have changed with Immunotec for the better. Most of you have seen this week, hopefully in the last 2 days, the new face of Immunotec. When you sign into your web page, a whole lot better looking, a whole lot sexier, frankly, than what we had previously. That's a work in progress. I know Damien and his team are working on that voraciously. So things are happening. So let me go over the details that I have for you at this point with Switzerland. First of all, Switzerland, what a great country. I've got some roots in that part of the world, between Germany and a little bit outside Zurich, family-wise. My great-grandfather was born in Würzburg, Germany, and we had relatives, still do have relatives in Zurich and other places around Switzerland. More important in my history, though, is what products are going to be available for the launch. And here's what it's going to be. All three Immunicals, plus the orange and green boosters, the ProBio, and also the Omegas. So I'll just repeat that in case you're taking notes. Okay, I know Patricia is. Mark probably is. Barry looks like he is. Wally, you look like you're driving. So once again, all three Immunicals, which is great. The boosters, the orange and green, the ProBio, and also the Omegas. So that's what we're going to start with in Switzerland. Now, the prices aren't totally finalized yet, but most of you are here in North America. I'm not sure who a few of the people are that are on, but most of you are here in North America. If you want to see what the prices roughly will be, they will be similar to the prices in both Spain and the Republic of Ireland. Okay, it might be 1 or 2 euros more. They're figuring out all the taxation and all that kind of stuff, kind of as we speak here. They're finalizing all of that with the tax authority. So it might be a buck or two more as well. So just kind of be aware of that. If you want to get an idea, you're talking to people over there. I know all of you have prospects over there. I know Patricia's got a bunch of people over there. So they're going to want to have an idea too, what are things going to cost. I mean, all these economies, just like the North American economy, are in free fall right now. So people are going to want to know, what's it going to cost to participate. We've put together a call that Keith will prepare a flyer for today. And I created a group called, and please write this down. Most of you, I think I already invited to it this morning. It's called DACH. That's DACH, Open Immunotec. So DACH, DACH, Open Immunotec. Those of you not familiar with the DACH region, that's the trade organization that represents Germany, Switzerland, and Austria. So it's called the DACH region. It's very, very, very common in that part of the world. Over here, we're not familiar with it, but you learned something today. At the very least, you're going to learn something today with the DACH region is. So once again, that's on WhatsApp. If you're not on WhatsApp, you got to get on WhatsApp. Okay, I'm not going to do this 7 ways for Sunday. one simple way, get on WhatsApp. How do you get on WhatsApp? If you're not on Facebook, you got to get on Facebook. You get on Facebook, WhatsApp comes with it. Okay. If you have questions on that, you can always phone me or text me or get a hold of your upline and they can get a hold of me. Now we have a call this Wednesday. Okay. This Wednesday we have a call, and that call is at 2:00 Central U.S. time. And why is it 2:00 in the afternoon here? Well, because it's actually a call we started for the United Kingdom and Ireland. So we have people that have been on that call. We're going to add that call to this doc group. So your prospects in Switzerland, Germany, Austria, etc., can listen to it and participate. And we just happen to have John Molson, who better, who knows more about this product, and along with Jimmy Gutman, I would say they're the two most authoritative human beings on the planet with knowledge of Immunocal. Patricia Gongshoven as well, but she's not available for this call. But anyway, John Molson's on the call. So this is a great call, not only if you're here in North America with prospects or distributors, but it's also a great call for your European people to hear a little bit on the history and also on the research, because John, as many of you know, has been in charge of research now for 28 years that Immunotec has existed as a business. So he's the one that everything from our current autism study to the brain study that's going on to all the cancer studies, the AIDS studies, et cetera. He's the guy that's been the interface between Immunotec and the medical world. All these researchers that you hear referenced, John's the guy that talks to them. Okay. Very interesting guy. He's also the guy that brought us the relationship with Oracle. And Oracle is going to be a big name in Europe. It doesn't mean that much over here necessarily, but Oracle is the sports testing agency for the NBA, Major League Soccer, the Premier League Soccer. I mean, all the elite athletes professionally in the world. Oracle is the people that they work with and they test supplements with. Oracle are the people that got us the Miami professional soccer team that Lionel Messi, the best player in the world, plays for. Okay, so we've got these relationships in Europe that are very, very, very strong. In addition to that, of course, we'll do this call on Wednesday, and it'll be every other Wednesday that we're going to continue this call. So the next one would be, I guess that's July 10th would be the next one. We'll have a special guest on there. And what we do on that call is we always have somebody like John or one of our successful distributors talk for about 20, 25 minutes. And then we segue to the medical profession. So Dr. Jeffrey McTavish, Dr. Miriam Feil, who happens to be German, speak German, and also Dr. Dina. We normally have at least one or more of them speak on the back half of the call. So it's kind of like if you have a prospect, they hear of people successful in the business. Now, in John's case, it's going to be all product this week, but normally they'll hear somebody successful in the business, and then we segue to support. Well, why are they successful? Because the product works. Now, okay, so hopefully you're all aware of that. And then, like I said, John Molson's on this week. Now, what I want to do, and before I introduce him, I want to reference this. The big fish over here in Europe, to me, has always been Germany. And France, for that matter. But Germany, I want to talk about right now because it doesn't seem like we have any of the French folks on the call. So why is Germany so important to Immunotec? Well, first of all, of the three founders of the company, one was John Molson, one was Chuck Roberts, and the third was a guy by the name of Dieter Beer that most of you know or know of. Dieter happens to be German, still alive, 87 years old, going strong. He's semi-retired in the Toronto area. Still goes back and forth to Germany on a regular basis. But that's where we kind of started this. One of the key three researchers was Dr. Wolf Droge, who happened to have been a researcher at the German National Cancer Institute located in Heidelberg, Germany. So when you look at some of our research, it came from Germany. Even though we weren't in business in Germany, it came from there. So some of our roots are there. In addition to that, of course, Dr. Droge was a Max Planck Fellow, Max Planck being Albert Einstein's mentor. Wrote over 380 peer-reviewed papers et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So when we get into the German market and the German-speaking markets in Switzerland and, of course, Austria, that's going to be a reference point. That's something that you're going to want to have in your arsenal to say, oh, by the way, some of our research came from there. Little secret I'm probably not supposed to tell, but there's a research study that's going to start there very shortly as well, a new one. So, very, very important. And when we get to France, we'll talk about Dr. Luc Montagnier and the Pasteur Institute and his contribution to the Immunocal brand. So, we've got heavy duty European roots. Now, what does that mean for you? It means heavy duty opportunity. Okay. So we've told you about Switzerland a little bit today. Now, I want to show you that your company is moving forward aggressively. And when I say aggressively, I met earlier this week a young man that I think is going to be a major influencer and a major help and support to all of us on this call and all of our downlines and colleagues and all of our soon-to-be downlines that aren't part of Immunotec yet, but hopefully will be in the coming months and years. He's been in the industry for quite many years, comes from one of the industry great companies. I don't know if we should mention the company or not, Stefan, that's up to you. But he's the gentleman that you're going to want to liaison with that is going to be running sales in both Germany and Austria. Now, I know we're a little bit away from those markets a couple months ago, okay? But he is going to be the gentleman that's going to run those markets. And he's going to share his information today, share a little bit about himself, and maybe I'll even ask him a question or two, or if you want to, it's a fairly small call. Do me a favor though, if you want to ask a question, go in the chat group and Keith or I will look at that and we'll ask the question directly to Stefan. So Stefan Strumpf, welcome to the call. This is your introduction to your first group of Immunotec distributors. I appreciate you being on, my friend. How are you?
Thank you, John, and good morning, good afternoon to everyone who's on the call. And it's really great to be here. And yes, great welcome, warm welcome also from the CEO I received. So I'm with the Immunotec right now since 1 week, to be honest. And I already met in the European headquarters in Madrid in Spain, the other 6 colleagues we have. And of course, as you know, maybe already we have an additional colleague, country manager in Italy. So this is the group who's running Europe right now. Yes, I joined the company and I'm really happy and excited to support and build the market together with you. And yeah, what you need to know about me, I'm in the industry since technically 2004, not the complete time, but I went through 3 companies already, or 4 companies to be honest. And the last company I come from is Isogenics. And my job was in Isogenics to build the business beginning in the pandemic time in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland for the Germanic region, means for the German-speaking people in these 3 countries, which, as you can imagine, was a big challenge because when you cannot do in-person events, you need to work around it, as everyone from us, of course. And yeah, so all this learning I had there, so against all the obstacles in the pandemic time, I want to utilize here for Immunotec. And so that's why I love this kind of challenge. I love this pioneer spirit we bring together here, all with you and with the leaders. So just to see what we can do in Germany and Austria. And just to distinguish, the reason why I'm not responsible for Switzerland yet is because the biggest community, which is already growing there, is French speaking, as John already told you. And that's why another regional sales manager will be responsible who's speaking French, because I do not speak French, unfortunately. So, but yeah, Germany is really big and there's big potential in this market. As you maybe already know, the Germans are always a little bit skeptic against everything what comes from overseas. So that's why it's so much more important to look behind all this research the company already made in the last decades. Means we have a lot of certificates, we have a lot of research and many things of these available tools. I will make sure that these get translated so that everyone has the chance to look at it and understand the potential of our products. And yes, I can confirm with John, all available products you can see on the Ireland website. And I can also agree, yes, we will start in Germany with these net amount prices you see on the Ireland price list, which is in euro currency, of course. And so that you have an idea what will come up first. So, and step by step in the near future, we will introduce more products to Europe. And as you can imagine, this takes time, sometimes 6 months, sometimes longer. And in the background, a lot of good things going on. What John also mentioned is they reinvent the website also for Europe. That means in the background, a lot of testing is going on to make sure that you have a great experience soon also in Europe. Means also in Germany and Austria and Switzerland. And yeah, right now we cannot say how quick we will open. So, but you can imagine I will spend a lot of time in the next 2 months to make sure that all printing materials, web content, app content will be available in a proper German language. So you see, because I'm still the single German guy on board to say it this way. And yeah, that's what you need to know about the situation. So I think when the next call is on the 10th of July, John, and maybe I'm happy to get invited again, I can give you better proper update where we are in July than what is already established and what still needs to be done. Thank you.
Well, Stefan, I appreciate all of that, and yes, you're always invited, my friend. You are part of the team. You'll find that all of our regional managers around the world we work with in different markets, and you know, you only succeed in multi-level as a team. This is the to me this is the ultimate team sport. So I'm just going to bounce around to a couple of people that I know.
John, let me go first. Okay. So, Stefan, what part of Germany are you living in? Where are you headquartered?
Yes, I'm really close to Frankfurt Airport, just 40 minutes away up north. And so that means at this moment, we do not have an office yet. So I'm working home office, as you can see in the background. It's so I'm sitting at home, and it's a really good place. So it's easy for me. I'm really centralized. Whatever's going on, if we want to do the first meeting in Munich or Berlin, Düsseldorf, I just jump in a car and drive down, and we'll be there just to establish the first, how do you say, movers and shakers energy, right?
Right. So that first
really
mover's advantage of you being there in Frankfurt, but your English is exceptional. So tell us how that happened. I mean, were you born in Germany? Give us a little bit of the history of Stefan.
Yes, of course. Thank you. So the reason is, of course, I had to learn it as everyone. Normally, the German school doesn't give you that much interactive speaking experience as an option. So I was in a lucky situation in the first direct selling company, which is still alive, by the way. The name is Moder, but back in time, its name was New Ways. So this was 2004. So, and in this company, I met a lady who is Afro-American from Los Angeles. And she helped me to give me the feeling, Stefan, I treat you like a US guy. I will respond like that you are a proper US guy who's grown up there. So she gave me the confidence to speak much better proactively in this language. And then, of course, I went through the 3-4 US-based companies and improved my English as best I can do so far. And of course, if you have a gap of 3 months, then you get a little bit rusty. So I need to jump in again and warming up in the language again. So that also means when we do in the future a couple of live videos or live interviews, for example, the closed Facebook group, I'm ready to jump in and make a simultaneously translation and like an interpreter, so that the audience, the German audience, can really participate and enjoy the call. So I'm used to it. So the last company was based with the European headquarters in England, close to London. So I did things like this to make sure that all the content feels really good for the German audience.
Well, very good.
Good. So I wanted to go to Patricia. If you could turn your phone on for a minute, Patricia Karalash. And I'll just introduce you guys fast. This is Patricia Karalash, many years in the nursing profession out in Saskatchewan, Canada. That's Western Canada. Stefan, and Patricia has a group of people ready to go in Munich, I believe. Patricia, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, Munich and Heidelberg also.
Perfect.
So yes, so hello everybody. Hello, Stefan. Okay, so yeah, I'm so looking forward to us doing more things in Europe. Yeah, I'm just on here to learn and pass on information. And I'm so pleased that you are willing to do translations in different languages. I know a couple of different languages, but not good in German yet. So thank you very much for what you are willing to bring and what you're willing to translate in person on these Zooms and on paper and on video. So I'm looking forward to working with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Patricia. Yes, I'm also looking forward to this amazing time.
Now somebody does. Nobody knows I'm calling on them, by the way, Stefan. So I have no idea what they're going to say. But
Okay.
so who knows?
Fingers crossed.
You know me long enough. I mean, we know each other 5 days. You know me by now. You're never sure what's going to come out. But
Okay.
Italian Sousa is here. Italian lives in a horrible, horrible place called Bermuda. It's got all these beaches around it and golf courses and terrible place to live. But Italian's been in the travel industry for many, many, many years. Her husband is the former finance minister or assistant finance minister for the country of Bermuda. So they literally have contacts all over Europe. So Italian, if you want to say hello to Stefan and ask him anything that you might care to ask. She's also, by the way, got a medical background. I mean, just a Renaissance person again, like a lot of these folks on the line, except for myself and Hooper. We're the weak links. But anyway, Italian, go ahead. How are you? Oh, we can't hear you.
John, you are something else. Put me on the spot, but that's okay. I'm always ready. Well, anyway, Stefan, it's really nice to meet you. And it's a pleasure to know that we have a German representative. I do know people international. So I'm excited to reach out to some of my German contacts. I do have people that's in Frankfurt and some places in Switzerland. But I'm looking forward to at least having a peace of mind of allowing people to come on board and join without having to have a language barrier. So this is fantastic. And welcome to Immunotec. Thank you so much. And I'm sure Immunotec appreciates your expertise and also helping us as, consultants and owners of our Immunotec company. So yes, I'm excited. I've been in the company since 2010. I was a top producer sort of basically overnight. John can explain that, and Keith, and I'm excited about the fact that I have this nucleus of people that will have assurance that we have somebody, that could actually help them in this particular market. I sort of held back a while because, it's so difficult to bring people in a program who doesn't have the background of speaking English in countries such as Germany. So I feel confident now that I have met you, Stefan. So we'll be in touch, via John and Keith, and I'm excited. So, and my husband, by the way, is a retired chairman of a Bermuda college, the only college in Bermuda, and also he's the pension commissioner of the Hill Island, and used to be the assistant financial secretary many years ago. So we have a really good network. We are sort of like people know us, and we're just excited to be on board with Immunotec. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Italian. And I'm just going to go here. If anybody has a question, put it in. But I'm going to call in a couple other people quick here, and then a few people join late, so I'll go back over the Swiss information briefly. But Mr. Kralik, can you speak? You turned your camera off.
Yeah, I can speak.
Good. I can hear you.
Good. I'm as excited as most of the distributors are on the line here, and I appreciate Stefan reaching out to me already. As I indicated to him in an email, I've got a few irons in the fire. The people that I have been speaking with in Germany, they are very, very interested in the product, more so in the product than the business. But I know in past history that people join Immunotec because of the product and then get into the business as a result of the results that they get on the product. So Germany is going to be huge for us. I can speak kind of bisschen in Deutsch sprechen, not enough to do a presentation, but I'm really looking forward to working with Stefan, and Germany is going to be an eye opener for all the people that get involved in it. I'm excited, and John, I appreciate you and Keith doing these calls because they're going to help us introduce this opportunity to the rest of the world. Thanks, John.
Well, thank you, Wally. And there's a lot of excitement. I told Mauricio, I was with Mauricio 2 or 3 weeks ago. I was at his house in Houston, and I told him when I was leaving that night, I said, mark my words, Germany will be bigger than Mexico within 5 years. That's a bold statement. We do a lot of business. We're $150+ million business in Mexico. Okay. And no pressure, Stefan, by the way. No, yeah, 150. Yeah, it's in the bag.
It's a team effort, of course.
Right.
We
Consider
will
right
do it
now,
together.
we're at zero right now, but we were at zero when I put this tape together 28 years ago too, and here we are, right? So
I love it.
anyway, hey, a real good friend of mine. He's in Immunotec, and he's a seasoned networker. He was a charter member of one of the 4 largest companies in the history of the industry. Very experienced guy. I hope he can put his camera on and say hello to you and ask anything he wants to ask. Mark Zuckerbrod, he's in New Jersey visiting his dad, who's 96 now, and unfortunately broke his shoulder. But Mark is very excited about what's going on over in Germany as well. So Mark, do you have any questions or comments for Stefan?
No real questions. Just I've seen what's happened with Germany before in other companies, and I know it's a very hardworking culture, and that I'm excited a lot because of I don't know who mentioned it, but just a lot of the history that comes out of Germany as it relates to Immunotec to give it credibility. And so, if you go to someone in Germany and all the research was done in Italy, that's nice, or the research was done in the United States. But if the research was done, by the people in Germany, and we have that background with Dieter and Wolf Droga and all that, that adds an extra credibility that they can look at locally and see. And so it's got my interest. And unlike Patricia and a number of the other people who speak multiple languages, I still struggle with English. So I'm looking forward to a country where there are people that do speak English, and also where there's very strong corporate support in English. So that can help us along. So that's basically it.
Great.
Thank you, Mark.
And I'm just going to arbitrarily call on one more person here because I know she's had a huge downline in the UK before, and probably Europe, with the same company that Mark was a founding distributor with. Aveline, are you there? Can you talk? Let me give her about 30 seconds. Can you speak, Aveline? I feel like we're on Jeopardy, that sound. Okay, I guess she can't talk. All right, if anybody else has a question, just let me know there, and I'll call on you, because I only call on these people because I know they've all got contact capital. Barry, go ahead.
John, I'm here.
Oh, okay, Aveline.
Go back.
Oh, sorry about that. It's too early. Yes, I'm excited too. I've been kind of retired with Immunotec because I'm traveling a lot now, but I do have a couple of contacts in Germany that I'm going to be working with. And I think the reason that still keeps me with the company is because I turned 76 in March, and I'm still not on any kind of doctor prescribed medication. So using Immunical on a daily basis keeps my arthritis at bay, keeps me healthy, keeps me away from the doctor. So yeah, I'm going to try and get involved again. So I'm very excited for the whole company that Europe is opening the way it is.
Great.
Thank you, Emily.
Great. And I think Dr. White had a question, and Barry?
Okay. I've got 2 cousins who have been ready to go for the past 4 years. So when are we going to have some German-speaking information kind of call happening, even though we may not be ready today, but they're ready at any point to connect in. And I've got some more contacts I'm working on, but German-speaking presentation.
Thank you, Barry. Yes, so I'm already preparing the presentations, make them available in German. So I did it. This is what I did the last 4 days, to be honest. And now the marketing department will assemble everything and put it together so that I can share the German materials with you all. And maybe that's a good point, a good moment to tell you that in the background, we are preparing a kind of landing page for the soft launch time period. It will have a name like dachimmunotec.com, something like this. I will inform you as soon as possible how it will look like, just to give the already potential and future customers who want to join us the opportunity to register themselves, or you can register them. Of course, you will enroll them, and so that they will receive starter pack and the welcome kit in one piece. So just that you know what our strategy is, but this is the rough plan. As I said, as soon as possible, I try to share with you really proper improved details about this. Thank you.
And thank you.
And Dr. McCallum, did you have any question? Oh, can't hear you, Jim.
Not at this time. I've been with Immunotec since you've been with Immunotec, John. And I've been there primarily because of the product. And I've just introduced a lot of people to the product, to the business, and I'm looking forward to opening up in Germany. I'm working on a few contacts there now and just waiting for the word to go ahead. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Jim.
So Stefan, a couple of notes for you that you're probably already taking mentally because I know how bright you are. So you've got Dr. McCallum, Dr. White, Dr. Sousa, Patricia Karalash, okay, 30 plus years in nursing profession at a very, very high level. I don't know, she'll get into you at some point what she did in the psychiatric field. I don't know everybody else's background on here, but, so we got 16 people on the call and 25% of the people on the call are in the medical profession. So that kind of gives you what you need. Now, what is Stefan going to need, especially from you folks in the medical field? If you have a friend or contact that speaks German, he's going to need some German people. Obviously, a lot of Germans do speak both languages, but like anybody, they prefer, German. If you speak German all day, you don't really want to speak English unless you absolutely have to. So that being the case, reach out to these contacts and say, hey, I have an opportunity for you. Okay. And at the same time, that opportunity can give them some face time, if you will, with Immunotec. And it's always good for their careers. You never know where these things lead, be it, I can't promise anything, but, be it research or, whatever, you never know where these things lead. So, Stefan needs our help like we need his help. He's boots on the ground. He's the first Marine in there. Okay. So he's one guy. He can't do everything. So he's going to need our help and support to meet people that are interested in Immunotec and Immunical, be it as a customer or a distributor. And second to that, we can help him by saying, hey, let me tell you, like Dr. File, for example, who lives in the United Kingdom. Okay, she texted me, she's got office hours right now, so she's working. But they've been in contact already, for example, because that's the only medical person I know that speaks German. So I introduced them this week by email and just said, hey, they can say hello and they'll figure it out the rest from there. So we can help him out as well. And we can help ourselves because obviously we're going to want that same type of call down the road with a bunch of German folks on it that are going to want to hear from doctors, doctors, nurses, medical professionals, etc. Okay, so we can help him out. Let me just go real briefly through the Swiss stuff for the benefit of the people who were late. Okay, as far as Switzerland, so Italian and a couple other folks, I know you got on a few minutes late. So Switzerland will be a soft launch at some point in July. We don't have a date. I wish I could tell you it was the 1st, but the company's still getting all the logistics done, obviously. So it could be the 15th, it could be the 20th, but sometime in July, we will be able to ship product to the addresses of people in Switzerland. Now, some of you have people already signed up in other countries like I do, where we would then switch, they're Swiss, they live in Switzerland, but they've been using Irish addresses or Spanish addresses. They can switch their address, obviously, to their real address so they can get their product at their house like you and I do. So that's a great thing the company's doing. Product availability will be all 3 Immunicals, plus the orange and green boosters, the ProBio and the Omegas. Prices haven't been finalized, but it looks like they'll be similar to the prices in Spain or Ireland. Don't ask me those prices off the top of my head. You can look at them yourself in your back office. Okay, just put in the flag of that country and I'll give you a rough idea. Might be 1 or 2 euros more. They're still figuring out, all the taxes and all the stuff with a new market. Now, I created a new WhatsApp group, and it's called DACH, and DACH is D-A-C-H, Open Immunotec. So that's DACH, D-A-C-H, Open Immunotec. And what I'll do on there with Stefan's help and Keith's help is just kind of, update stuff for you. Okay. If you have a question, you can write it in there as well for the time being. Okay. And if Stefan doesn't see it, I'll relay it to him or to Aurelio or to whoever the appropriate person is. So we can kind of be in sync here because things are going to happen rapidly, but slowly. Right. You know, it's like, wow, things are happening, but maybe it's going to take 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Okay. And that's just when you open a country. And Mark Zuckerberg could tell you, you know, you open a country. He and I opened England with another company back in the early 90s. And we went through some painstaking stuff for 6 months. Well, the first checks that we got out of there were about 70,000 pounds at the time. Okay.
Wow.
Over $100,000 US. Was it worth it? Oh, yeah. I made money in that market for the 8 years I stayed with that company. I made money, you know, every single month off of that market. So is it worth it to grind it out a little bit and go through some of the, you know, the pain, you know, frankly, of starting a new market? Absolutely. And these markets are going to be huge. Okay. And by the way, once we get, think of it this way, we're very successful in Spain. We're modestly successful in Italy, modestly successful in the United Kingdom and Ireland. Now, this is like the top part of Europe, okay? Germany, Austria, Switzerland. After this, what's it going to be? Maybe Poland, maybe the Benelux countries, okay? Probably at some point, I know we're looking at, you know, Sweden, Norway, Finland, all very good networking countries, okay? So all of a sudden, the roughly, correct me if I'm wrong, Stefan, is 28 countries in the EU, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
28 countries in the EU. So it would be kind of like if we were a European company and we came to the United States and you go, I got somebody in Oklahoma. I got somebody in Texas. I got somebody in Washington. I got somebody in Maine. I got somebody in Florida. Kind of the same thing. Eventually, we will be able to market Immunocal around all of Europe. Think of the opportunities. I got a guy in Hungary that's been with us 14 years buying product through every crazy way in the world to get product because he loves the product and he's been on it. I mean, we've got people like that. You all do. Wally's got people in Romania like that for years that have been getting product from, you know, they come to Canada, they load up an extra suitcase. Patricia's got the ladies in Munich. They load up a suitcase when they come to Saskatchewan in the summer to take the product home. We don't have to do that anymore. They're going to get it on their front porch. Okay. What a blessing. So anyway, that's on that. Please join that group this Wednesday. Okay, and Keith will post this in the group here when we're done, if he hasn't already, in that Doc Open Immunotec group, is a call with John Molson. Okay, and I won't go through John's resume again. You all know it. Okay, Italian, you know John very well, so I don't need to go through who John Molson is. That's going to be a great call. You've got these European contacts. Get them on that call. Let them hear what John has to say. It's really the history of Immunotec. It's kind of what we go through in about a 25-minute period. So I think that's all I had for today. Anybody else have a question that they'd like to ask Stefan or myself? Feel free.
I came in a little late and I wanted to know, how many languages do you speak apart from German and English?
Oh, sorry. No, only the two of them.
Oh, two, but that's fantastic anyway. But yeah, so German, there's a lot of German speaking countries, which is what Switzerland, they have like the French and the German, correct?
They have Italian, French, and German speaking community. Yes.
Oh, wow.
So, and yeah, so that's why I was responsible for the German speaking area in the last company in Switzerland. And Austria is completely speaking German. And of course, they have a Alpine, how do you say, a mountain dialect. But
Yes.
technically, they listen always to the German TV broadcast channels. So they are used to use the high German if a German guy is in front of them. So they're doing really great. And the same for the Swiss German-speaking people. They learn technically German in the school, this high German, you know, this without any accent or dialect. So they are used to it as well. They're watching a lot of German TV. So so that's why it will work very well.
So where's your actual location in Germany? What city are you located?
I'm close to Frankfurt, in the middle of Germany.
That's where my friends are. So Joe and I have to contact them. They speak
Yes.
Italian and German. Well, yeah, she
Good.
speaks Italian and German. Yeah, she's a travel agent.
That's really nice because, as I shared already, we have for Italy, we have a separated country manager who is already care of the market since I think 3 years now, right? Or longer. I need to check. And I didn't. And what you also need to know, I fly to Cancun on the 7th of July and meet the top 30 employees, so it's from Immunotec, where the big incentive trip will be in November. So in the ABBA hotel. So because they're still building on this, or they're still finalizing this big hotel, what we want to use for you, for all the achievers, for the incentive trip achievers for November. So that's my chance to be in your time zone for the next meeting on the 10th of July. So I need to check what your time is in Dallas when I will be in Cancun to dial in your Zoom call, John. Just to mention this.
I think it's the same. If not, it's an hour off because they change most of the year. Mexico's on that part of Mexico's on the same time as Dallas.
Yeah,
but it might be an hour ahead with the time changes. I'm just having another thought here. As long as it's a small group, I'll mention this. Stefan, you okay if we schedule a German-speaking call so some of these people can get some of their German friends on that would be more comfortable in German? You okay with us doing that?
Yes, of course. And you can lead all the time management. So because I'm available, I'm free and available every time you need me, or anytime you say in English, right? Anytime. So my schedule is technically free. I have only a couple of onboarding calls in my time zone in the late afternoon or in the early evening. So that means between 7 p.m. and 5 and 7 p.m. my time. Next week, I will be sometimes blocked for onboarding.
So what if, well, let me ask these people, because they're the people who have to get them. I've got one German speaking contact and you know who it is. So
yes, Rudy, yes. He wrote me already. We will see how we can meet each other next week or the week after.
He was trying to get on the call. He's coming back from Dubai, so he's getting on a plane. So he obviously didn't get on. But so those of you with German contacts, Patricia, Italian, Dr. Barry, if we did a call, let me just think out loud here. So 5 to 7, you're tied up. If we did a call, what if we did a call Wednesday night, the 3rd of July? Okay, give you some time to reach out to these people. Okay, what if we did that call at 8 o'clock Munich time, which is 8 minus 7 is 1, so that's 1 o'clock Dallas time. Okay, so Keith, would you put a flyer together for that?
Yeah, let's work on the timing on that. There's a problem with that for me. Okay, we'll work on that, Stefan. We'll get back and get that with everybody. So we'll look for something for July the 3rd.
Yeah, July the 3rd. We'll figure out the time. Okay, on that. But let's start to get some German calls and get these people introduced to you. I've also got, you know what? I lied. I've got that group in Nuremberg also with my nephew actually, who's over there right now. I've got a nephew that commutes between Nuremberg and Philadelphia. He's a lawyer, but he's actually at a big party in Berlin today. So nice to be young again, right? So I got to coordinate that with these guys in Nuremberg too. But anyway, a lot of coordination, guys. I'm glad you met.
Let's see if Dr. Jeffrey's there, John.
I don't see him.
Yeah, I do. That's what happens when you get older. Can't see. Hello, Dr. Jeffrey.
Yeah, hello.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. You?
Good. So Germany's going to be a good deal for us all, right?
Germany, I was with another company before. I was with Immunotec, and they went bonkers over it. They're mad. Once they believe in it, they go for it.
Okay. So we're looking forward to this next Wednesday as well, huh? And John Molson.
Yeah.
And I did connect you guys by email, you and Stefan.
Yeah, I'm just in Belfast at the moment working, so I haven't had a chance to get back to Stefan. I will. Stefan, I'll get back to you. No worries. Probably Monday.
And Dr. Miriam works with Dr. Jeffrey. Okay, I've connected them also because obviously she speaks German. So that's that connection. So what's that?
She is German.
Yeah. Very German.
Cologne. She's from Cologne.
Perfect.
Great. Okay, well, so I lied to you. I told you of 16 people at 25%. I didn't realize Dr. Jeffrey was on. I didn't recognize what it said on my computer. So that's about now 30% of the call are medical people, Stefan. So
this is what we need. And it was exactly like he said, as he said, as soon as they believe in, they start to go for it, to build it, to duplicate it. And so that's the way how it will work. And we will see a great time near future.